Reaching high, one-on-one, touch the sky. We're breaking through, no limits here. Empower the world, there's nothing to fear. One-on-one, feel the light. One-on-one, we'll take flight. We rise as one with dreams so bright. On one-on-one, we're shining tonight. Feel the power. Good evening, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us again on another episode of One on One, where we sit down and chat with one of Hopkins' leading female entrepreneurs. Today, I am being joined by the owner and operator of Mama Lour Unlimited Travel Agency, as well as a nonprofit organization, Winds of Change, Lourine Avila. Lourine, thank you so much for joining me. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Good evening, and it's a pleasure being here.
Thank you so much for taking the time out to sit and chat about life and business and our community here.
Thank you.
Have you had a busy week?
Usually my weeks are busy. I mean, it's my day to day is just running a business as well as working for someone because I'm not totally on my own yet. But one of my biggest priorities is going to work for one and then doing my business on my own time, and as well as a non-profit on whatever time I have just to give to that because I am committed.
Okay, so let's firstly talk about Mama Lour Unlimited Travel Agency. When did you start that?
I started this year in January. It was one of the things that I started because it's my New Year's resolution. I know that sounds really taboo. Uh, hey, but I really had to step out, and I have decided that I wanted to do something different, something that I wanted to. I've always loved to just stand on my own and do my own businesses, and that has been one of my entrepreneurship drive, and that was something that was coming out for the beginning of this year within Belize. The an international company just came into Belize just to like introduce me to this business, and I decided to be part of it.
Okay, so not even a year yet.
Not even a year
Okay,
yet.
wow, someone that stuck to their New Year's resolution. I only worked out for 1 week, which was my New Year's resolution. So, kudos to you for actually setting
Thanks.
a huge and wonderful goal and sticking to it. So, guys, it's not only going to the gym, for New Year's resolution. Start a business as your New Year's resolution. And what made you decide on doing that? I know you said the opportunity came, but was that something that you always wanted to do, being in the tourism industry? Have you always wanted to do your own thing when it comes to helping others, traveling, and all of that to and from Belize?
I have done some traveling when it comes to going to other places on my own, as well as working on a cruise line before now. So that has piqued my interest. And number two, it also, when it gave me that opportunity, I saw the bigger picture when it comes to the opportunity that I want to create for myself as an entrepreneur, and as well as the finance that will put me where I want to be. So that was what made me get into this business itself specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always wanted to stand on my own as an entrepreneur, just doing what I love to do and owning my own.
Yes, yes.
That's the key for me.
And when people think about starting business, they think about starting something that's going to generate income, that's going to take care of them and take care of their needs and their goals and all of that. But it's not every day you find someone interested in starting a nonprofit. I know in this part of Belize, nonprofits are few and far in between. So please tell me now what led to that, starting a nonprofit, Winds of Change.
um, oh boy. One of, I think it has always been a part of me to just do something different, something extraordinary. Needless to say, and I've started just going to associate in an associate program, wanting to get my degree, but online, and that has brought up a lot of taking accounting, managerial accounting. So it gave me a lot of ideas about new things. And I've always been into reading and learning new things. So that idea came about, and because it sparked my interest when it comes to just giving back to the community. And then it showed me that for once, you don't have to be in politics to give back. So that was the main thing for me, giving back to my community, even if it's within a community in itself, and you don't necessarily have to do it alone. So that's what put that drive within me, just to do something new.
Okay, and what exactly, for those who don't know, is Winds of Change?
Winds of Change is a nonprofit organization that looks to cleaning the community itself. As we notice, everywhere we go, we have this pile of garbage, that pile of garbage, like everywhere. And for a community that is so small, this should not be a problem. You know, how much am I what doing? Our people never really left their garbage sitting around, because one of the biggest thing that was debris was just leaves and things that you just rake up. And now there's so much plastic, so much things that are foreign, which was never our issue before. So taking up a little leaf and burning it was not a problem, but now that they import so many different things, the problem becomes too big that not even the community could handle. So since we're not, some of us are taking it as our personal business, but within the community itself, then nobody is taking that up. So if it look bad for me and it look bad for you, it look bad for everybody, because they're not just looking at me or looking at that person. It looks at the whole community. And it's our responsibility. So that's why I decided just to form this group, get a few people, and then we started doing it. Just putting in a little time with no money, just putting in a little time, and that's how it started. So starting something doesn't necessarily mean rich, you got money. You just have to put in your work.
Yes.
That's it.
With that passion, you have that
Yes.
passion, you set the goal, you have a plan to achieve those
Yes.
goals, and that's how it starts.
And you keep going from there. You
Ex-
don't stop.
Exactly. Okay, and so were you afraid or excited about starting these two major organizations?
Um, for the business itself, the travel agency, that was something that I could take up on my own timing. And then it gives me actually time just to do a job and still be able to work on my own timing. So that wasn't so scary. The nonprofit, however, was a challenge because it requires working with other people.
And the travel agency, Mama Lour's travel agency, it's just you by yourself
By
doing that?
myself so
Okay.
far, yes.
All right. Do you plan on expanding or?
Eventually, yes, because I believe no business should stay with just one person. You definitely need other people. But since it's an extension from a bigger company, I have the rights just to register it myself and do it on my own. So I can book flights, I can book accommodations, rooms, tours. I have a very wide um, leverage that I could use from that company itself. So I can do it on my own because I have other access with leverage with other people that are. Um, it's a bigger picture than I am.
Okay.
So
And so is this to get your clients from inside of Belize to outside, or this travel agency is gathering clients from around the world to come to Belize?
Not necessarily, because whatever I do, yes, it gives me a clear and IATA. It gives me, but I do register my business because whatever I do from it is just my own personal. So it's according to what you do is how you get your clients. So it's like having your personal business and how you work it It has nothing to do with them.
Okay, all right. So would you say that both of these businesses take up most of your time, or one of them requires more time and energy than the other?
I think one takes up more than the other for
Okay,
sure because um, when I'm finished from my job, then that's the hours that I leave for my business itself. However, on when it comes to winds of change, I do that on my own timing, but there's also a schedule that I do that. You know,
okay,
it's something that I'm determined to do, and then I set my time when I'm going to do it. Yeah.
okay.
So it balances out.
And you operate year round, correct?
Yes.
There's no time where you take close for a month or anything like that. It's year round operation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All
So
right.
far.
And so it's Winds of Change and then Mama Lour's Unlimited Travel Agency. And then you also have another side job. So that's a lot to be doing for one person. How please let me know, girl. How do you find balance in your life? How do you find time for yourself?
Um, for one, I've always been an independent, you know. Um, the time that I take for myself is like daily. Before I wake up 4:30 in the morning, you know. I get to meditate, I get to have my time, I pray. That is what my main source is, you know. If I don't fill my own cup, then it's not, I can't give out. And then I set my time and set my goals on how I really want it to be. And I do exercise. Sometimes even if it's occasionally, but I try to do it at least 5 times per the week. And then my time for me, I live alone. So it's always just me.
Okay, all right. All right. And once you've met your daily or weekly or monthly goals that you've set for your travel agency business as well as your nonprofit, what do you do to reward yourself or celebrate these victories? Is there anything special that you do for yourself?
For one, there's nothing really will come that easy, you know. It's a daily work. Sometimes I don't always get it right, you know, but I do know what I want and I make sure I do it according to how I want it. So even if okay, maybe I feel to not read 10 pages today or not actually do what I set out to do, I don't kick myself for that. But what I always do is encourage myself for the things that I do, for the things that I do achieve, you know. And usually taking time for myself, just walking on the road and just sitting by the beach for an hour, just being quiet. That's how I one thing that I reward myself for, or just patting myself on the back. I'm like, you did a good job. Telling myself that I acknowledge and approve what I've done for me. And I think that's what does it because it keeps me motivated. When I want to hear it from somebody, I tell myself. So I think that one way how I keep encouraged. Yeah.
Man, that's beautiful. I love
Oh,
how how you find time for yourself, how you make your own schedule for yourself so that you can assign the allotted time for your business, for yourself, for the nonprofit, how you're able to just be happy with yourself and what you have, not being too hard on yourself. Because I think as business owners, sometimes you are your biggest critic. Um, we sometimes beat ourselves up and
mhm,
say, man, I could have done this better, I should have, could have, and all of that. But at the end of the day, you need to give yourself grace.
mhm.
This is, you haven't done this before in the past. This is the first time you're doing
Yes.
it. And as you're going, you're learning. Everything new is a learning experience, and you might not get
Oh,
it right the first time.
yes.
So it's very, very important to give yourself grace. And I
Exactly.
love that you do that for yourself.
Like it become a very important for years I was very unhappy and not giving myself that grace. And that's what I've learned through all those years of unhappiness that, you know, this is my first time. This, like you said, you know, I have to give myself a break because if everybody else is kicking me, I can't kick myself too.
No. You gotta take care of Lourine.
Exactly. And that's what I learned. So that's why it's not about buying something. Maybe it's just sitting quietly. Maybe it's just like, okay, how do I feel about this? Okay, what did that person say? Just like make I feel bad today, just sitting with it and then crying if I need to. Maybe pray if I need to, or buy myself an ice cream if I need to.
You can't go wrong with ice cream.
You know what I mean?
And ice cream is right over there.
Lactose free and all, and gluten free.
All right. Man. Aye, aye, aye. And I see that a lot of people have believed certain, I would say, untruths about success. What myths do you think exist out there that people still believe and that aren't necessarily true about success? Especially to those that really haven't achieved a certain level of success. What myths do you think you think people still believe out there and you want to shed light upon?
For one, the money thing, that you have to have a lot of money to have success. I don't think that's true because sometimes you have to start small and it takes time to build. For one, and number two, it never come overnight. And people think that it just bam and happen like that. That's not true. That's not true. It takes hard work. It takes discipline. It takes time. Time is what it takes.
Time is of the essence.
Time is what it takes.
Yeah, because one person's business might take off in 1 year, another person might 2 years, and another person who is in a different business, it might be longer than that. So don't compare yourself to others as well.
Yeah.
Your journey is different from theirs.
Yeah.
So, like I
And
said, like you said, it takes time.
sometimes people have been working on it for years. That's why they just blow up like that because they've been working on it. It's not an overnight thing. They've just worked at it. I believe that they just worked at it. Nothing, no come just bam like that.
True. And I think I forgot to ask you, when did you start Winds of Change? Because the travel agency started January,
Yeah.
but when did Winds of Change come about?
Actually, the first time I actually put out that sparked when I put out a post within the community itself on a Hopkins Belize beach group. I believe it was February, March. And then the garbage cans were overflowing, and then, it looked really bad. So I decided I wanted to just, hey, these cans are not being emptied. I just want to pay for one. Who's with, like, um, not necessarily asking who's with me, but when I put it out, it kind of give an incentive to other people to say, well, I'll take the other one. I'll take the other one.
All right, it was a chain reaction.
Yes, so
Wow.
that's what started Winds of Change. And because it started that way, I just couldn't quit, on one whim. So that's why I decided just to like add more to it. Let me have maybe a weekly cleanup. Then and we found places that were really dirty, and then we started cleaning that up, and it just went on from there. It was not really planned. It just happened to be something that just happened.
Yeah, and Hopkins has surely grown and developed a lot over the course of the past few years. It's not the
Yeah.
size it once was 20 years ago, 10 years ago. It
Mhm.
has, and it will continue to grow.
Yeah.
So we have to adapt. And do does the travel agency and the nonprofit throughout the year, is there a time when it's more busy or less busy?
This the travel agency, of course, it's a seasonal as well, but since I could just do it on my own time, sometimes I'm not advertising as much as I want to. So I think it just goes along with our season. So far, that's what I've experienced. Sometimes people travel, sometimes they really don't, you know. And that's what I'm going with. Since it's way too early to just kind of tell, I'm just looking at it how it's going,
Okay, all right.
playing by how it's going for the year, since it's my first year anyway. Yeah.
During the course of your business journey for the past couple of months, owning your own businesses, what would you say is your definition of success?
For me, success is, um, for one, being in good relationship, whether within business, with other people, having, that spiritual guidance, knowing oneself, and, being true to that. And of course, being successful within your business, which brings about financial change.
Okay,
I think that's what it
means to you.
what it means to me. Yes.
All right. Um, well, I believe you. And since you have customers from all over and you also provide a service for the community, what is one thing you would want others who are supporting you to understand more about these businesses?
um, for one, give the person a chance. Uh, Sometimes we don't give each other enough credit. You know, just the opportunity is there, use it, and don't underestimate people. That's all I would even ask. Never underestimate anybody, because we're here to grow, we're here to learn, we're here to. Just because you see somebody for so many years and you grew up with them, don't judge anybody. Give them the chance. That's all.
Yep. I believe
Yeah.
everybody deserves it, especially
Yeah.
if what they're proposing is something that the community needs, or it's something
Yeah.
that there is a market for, or you notice that their product or service is unique and special or seems up to standards. So, yes,
Mm.
we should always, especially those within our community.
Yeah. We tend to just judge each other so harshly. But, give somebody a break, man. Give them a chance. Keep an open mind.
Yeah. You gave others a chance, and now you're the one who the customers are giving a chance to.
Yes.
And speaking of customers,
And I'm grateful for those who actually does, you know.
speaking of customers, how would you say technology has helped you throughout your business journey to push your businesses forward? How have you utilized technology to help with your business?
Oh, I've gotten a lot out by using all the basic platforms I never thought I'd use. But it has allowed me to put myself out there as well. And people have reached out to me by, sometimes Instagram, sometimes Facebook, sometimes even TikTok.
Ah, you have a TikTok?
I do.
I need to get on TikTok.
I sometimes I advertise. I have to advertise, and in order for people to get to know what I do, that is the platform. And yes, like you, I was like, oh, I don't want to be on TikTok, but it eventually I see the use and see why I could actually use it to my advantage. So I did that, and then some people actually reach out to me and have given me feedback or how to how I actually do what I do, and that has been really good because at least even if it's not people from here, then a friend of a friend of a friend always have
Yep.
something.
Establishing the connection.
Yes, exactly. So it's whether it's Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, that has helped me just to like expand my field in what I'm doing.
And these are
Yeah.
all free tools.
Free tools.
Yes,
Yes.
not all the not all the fancy tools are expensive. Some of them are free and
Hmm.
moderately easy to use.
Yes.
Yes, as long as you get the hang on it, you're gonna take
Yeah.
off. And
Exactly.
if you're not quite sure, there's always a younger folks who can help you. This is how this work. This you do this, you do this. Now, none of this young people want to see right now. They want to see this. So you have you like I said, it's you have to grow. You have to adapt. You have to
Yes.
be in the know of
The
what your different customers and clients want. And
hmm
it's not everyone wants the same thing.
yes. And my gosh, even if it's so challenging just to learn new things, I want to learn as much as I can because you have to keep up with whatever is going on and it's new. So that's what you gotta do.
That's what you gotta do, girl. Lourine, thank you so much for chatting with me today. Man, I learned so much. I had no idea it was that deep. Winds of Change, your nonprofit. It. Thank you so much for all that you do and continue to do with the village, guys. If you want to support Lourine's nonprofit
Mhm.
organization, Winds of Change, you can reach out to her on her Facebook, her Instagram, and even her TikTok.
Yes.
Man, uh, you truly are a phenomenal woman, Miss Avila. Do you have anything else you want to say to the viewers at home watching about your businesses?
Um, sure. If you want to be a part of Winds of Change, it's a community endeavor. Just, contact me. I'm always on Facebook or my Instagram. I have a WhatsApp number. It's 660 8842, and I'm always available as much as I possibly can. Send me a message. Um, if you want to put out, if you just want to volunteer, you're more than welcome. And if you want to contact me just to like do a booking, I'm always available for that as well. And thank you for having me,
Yes,
Sarah. It's
thank
such
you
a
too.
pleasure.
Thank you for coming. I learned so much. So, guys, that's all the time we have this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in and catching another episode of One on One. Join us next week where I'll be sitting down and chatting with another amazing female entrepreneur here in Hopkins. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
One-on-one, reaching high. One-on-one, touch the sky. We're breaking